We tend to think of a career as this long race with a very clear finish line, right? Retirement. But what happens when you cross that line and it feels, well, less like a victory lap and more like just empty space? Today, we're going to look at a fascinating movement that's totally redefining what it means to learn, grow, and find purpose, long after the 9 to 5 is over.
Wow, that one sentence just hits you, doesn't it? It captures a feeling I think a lot of us can imagine. After a whole lifetime filled with challenges, deadlines, and purpose, the sudden quiet of retirement can be really jarring. It's often the beginning of a whole new search for meaning, one that kicks off the moment that familiar structure of work just disappears.
So, to really get our heads around this big idea, we're going to follow the journey of one person in particular, Margaret Ellis. Her story is the perfect example of a much wider cultural shift that's happening right now.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? That restless mind. Think about it. After spending decades shaping young minds, what happens when your own mind starts craving that same kind of challenge and stimulation? Where do you go?
So here's how it all went down for Margaret. She retires after a really impressive 38-year career as a high school principal. But fast forward 2 years. She's traveling, she's golfing, she's doing all the retirement stuff, but something just feels off, missing. And that's when she stumbles upon a lifelong learning program at her local university. And that discovery, it changed everything. Today, at 72, she says she feels more alive and full of purpose than ever before.
But here's the thing you need to know. Margaret's story, it is not an isolated case. Not by a long shot. She is part of this much larger trend. You could even call it a renaissance of senior scholars heading back to school.
And I mean, we are not talking about a small handful of people here. All across the country, older adults are signing up for university programs in absolutely record numbers. It's this quiet but incredibly powerful revolution that's happening on campuses everywhere.
So you might be wondering, how exactly is this working? Well, universities are getting really smart and flexible. You've got these amazing programs designed specifically for older adults, like the Osher Lifelong Learning Institutes. There are flexible online courses, university extension classes, and even programs where you can just audit regular classes alongside the traditional students, without all the pressure of grades. There are just so many more ways to get back into a classroom than ever before.
And the stuff they're studying? Oh, you gotta hear this. Forget any stereotypes you might have about simple hobby classes. These seniors are diving headfirst into some seriously complex, cutting-edge topics. We're talking artificial intelligence, debating big ideas in modern philosophy, and even getting their hands dirty in actual science labs. This is the real deal, rigorous, challenging academic work.
And all of this creates this absolutely fascinating dynamic, something called the intergenerational classroom. I mean, just picture this. You're a 20-year-old history major, and you're in a discussion about a major historical event with someone who actually lived through it. That blend of fresh academic perspective and deep life experience, well, it makes the classroom richer and more meaningful for absolutely everyone involved.
Okay, so we've seen the what and the how, but let's dig into the why. What's the real purpose driving this whole movement? What are the profound benefits here, not just for the seniors, but for the entire campus ecosystem?
Let's just ask it directly. Beyond just having something to do, why is this return to the classroom so incredibly important? Why does it matter so much?
Well, for the seniors themselves, the benefits are huge. And this isn't just anecdotal, it's backed by solid research. Constantly learning keeps your mind sharp, and it's been shown to measurably reduce the risk of cognitive decline and dementia. It fights off isolation by building brand new social circles. And maybe most importantly, it provides that deep, profound sense of meaning and purpose that, let's be honest, is vital to our well-being at any age. But here's the really cool part. This is not a one-way street. The universities and the younger students benefit immensely. These senior scholars bring decades of real-world wisdom and professional expertise into the classroom, enriching discussions in a way a textbook just never could. They often become informal mentors for the younger students, and they help create a campus community that is so much more dynamic, inclusive, and, frankly, more reflective of the real world.
And when you step back and look at the whole picture, you start to realize it's pointing towards something much bigger. We are literally witnessing a fundamental reimagination of what a university can be. It's shifting from just a 4-year stop for young adults to becoming a true center for lifelong learning, a resource for every single generation.
So let's circle back to Margaret, because her journey just comes together so perfectly. She didn't just stay a student. Her expertise was so valued that she actually started co-leading discussion groups, and then even guest lecturing, sharing all those insights from her 38 years in education with a whole new generation. It really came full circle.
And honestly, Margaret's own words just say it all better than I ever could. She said, "I thought retirement would be the end of my learning journey. Instead, it became the most rewarding chapter yet." Wow.
So, all of this leaves us with a really big, important question to chew on. Is education a destination? You know, something we finish, a box we check off when we're young. Or is it a journey, a continuous, lifelong adventure of curiosity and growth? Based on what we're seeing with people like Margaret, I think the answer is becoming clearer every single day.